What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to talk about if Bioware will ever be allowed to make another Mass Effect game again. So this is kind of following up the last couple videos we've done on the channel where I've talked a lot about Bioware, a lot about EA in general, and I've talked about really Bioware's future, what's going to happen to them with the release of Anthem, with it being what it was, and we kind of centered the last couple videos on the fact of, would Bioware close? So would EA actually shut them down? Would they be forced to make Anthem 2? Like, what's the future for Bioware? Now, there's a couple different teams in Bioware, and the team that had the most to do with Mass Effect Andromeda was actually kind of canned at the end of Andromeda. So we had that happen. We also have the fact that Bioware is in fact making, and we knew this for a while, is making a Dragon Age game. So there's more than just one team working at Bioware, so I get that. But the question I have, and it's something that we've heard time and time and time again from the higher ups at Bioware, is the quotes of that Mass Effect is not done. They're not finished with Mass Effect. They're going to go back to it eventually. It's not dead. So many things on that. This happened when Andromeda came out. This happened when they was basically said that they're going to take a long break from Mass Effect. But we kept hearing over and over and over again that Bioware is not done with Mass Effect. Now, I want to try and connect these with those last couple videos I made in that what is EA going to do? Because, Bioware is the developer, okay, they make the game, that's true, but the high-up decisions and the games that they make have to go through their publisher, meaning EA. There's been loads of rumors I've talked about in the past, and I may make a video on it, of Bioware has pitched them Star Wars games over the past couple of years. They've pitched EA that they want to make a Star Wars game multiple times, and EA has constantly told them no. You can't make a game if the publisher says no. So, the question is, yes, Bioware keeps saying that Mass Effect is not done. Okay, Mass Effect's going to continue. Mass Effect is not dead, all this stuff. But when the time comes, is EA going to allow them to make another Mass Effect? Now, it may not be all the same people that worked on Andromeda, which did fail. I mean, Bioware, I believe, very, very talented team, very, insanely talented. Okay, they made, again, Mass Effect 2 and 3, Dragon Age. They've made, and their legacy in the games that they've made overall, they've made some phenomenal games. But Andromeda, for sure, and I talked about this in the last couple of videos, EA obviously let them make it, said, okay, you know what, Mass Effect 1, 2, 3 did phenomenal, sold very, very well. Obviously the ending of 3 was its own problem, but we want another Mass Effect. Go ahead, start your new trilogy, start it off brand new with Mass Effect Andromeda. Andromeda came out, and it sold pretty well. I think it sold like 5-6 million copies, but it just, obviously there was just so many problems with that game that hurt the Mass Effect name, that hurt Bioware, and that hurt EA overall, because I assume EA expected it to do better. So you had all that happen. So that is kind of Bioware's fault. Okay, those are the people that actually made the game, but it's not the same exact people now. And Mass Effect still is a very, very powerful license, and other companies would probably kill to be given the Mass Effect license. Like if EA wanted to just hand it over and not possess it by them, I'm sure we would get a Mass Effect game very, very quickly, just same way as Star Wars. If EA didn't have the licensing for Star Wars, you give it to any developer that wants to do a Star Wars game. We're going to get a lot of diversity from that. We're going to get a lot of new games. We're going to get them very, very quickly. So Bioware may very, very well want to make a Mass Effect, and that may be, and that should probably be, the next major move Bioware makes. We know, again, Dragon Age is hopefully, and I talked about this with Anthem 2, hopefully Dragon Age is the next game that we see the Bioware name on. Okay, when the game comes to your door, you buy it online, you go on the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Live, you do all that stuff. Bioware, the next time you see that name, hopefully is for Dragon Age, whatever it's called. I do not want it to be for Anthem 2, okay? But then after Dragon Age, obviously you need another big tier game. Is that a new Mass Effect? Is it a new IP altogether? Or is it actually Anthem 2? Or could it be a Star Wars game? So there's lots of options that you could do for it. I hope that a Mass Effect game eventually gets made. I think, and I'm going to lay down my bet that I do think Mass Effect will continue. I think EA, and I talked about this, they're very, very greedy, they're very, very selfish, and they want the microtransactions, and they want to make money on live services, and really they're only going for these live services, hence Anthem. But at the same time, I think with the pushback that they've gotten, I think that they're still going to do their plan, okay? They're still going to be the same kind of people people they are. But at the same time, they're going to look to some studios and say, well, you know what, we're going to let you do, we're still going to, we're going to try and earn some brownie points with fans to make it seem like we're not the worst people out there. And I think BioWare was that company. I think, Andromeda was right towards the beginning of when EA was going to do all this live gaming stuff, and Andromeda was right in the beginning of that, probably before they could even force that in a game like that or want BioWare to make something different. But at the same time, what BioWare is. They're a storytelling, company pretty much, right? They tell really branching stories. They do a lot of different things. And the gameplay mechanics are kind of mediocre. But that's BioWare, okay? That's really that's just what they do. But you have them, okay? And so again, if you want to leverage them to make their own kind of game, earn the brownie points with fans for EA, and it wouldn't even be for BioWare's sake, it would be for EA. They could do that in the future. So I do think eventually, I'm not sure though when. I'm honestly not sure. I don't honestly even think Dragon Age is the next game. I think we may get an Anthem 2 before we get Dragon Age. So I think Dragon Age is at least 2 years out, but most likely 3. So, and that's enough time to crank out a second Anthem for sure. If Destiny can do it in 2 years, I'm sure BioWare would be forced to do it in 2 years. So, that could happen. And then the question would be, when are they allowed to make a Mass Effect? And then, the Star Wars game, I do want to talk about that in the next video. So, guys, let me know in the comments below, do you think we'll ever see another Mass Effect from BioWare? And when do when do you think this will actually come out? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys are notified when all our videos go up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.